Hi everyone, Rachel Flint here. It is now day 3 of my 42 days of pizza, and it is Sunday, August something or other. I don't even know what day it is. August 21st. And so I was just going to tell you a little bit about what happened today, because it's stuff that you come across on at least a weekly basis, if not a daily basis. So today was Sunday, so we went to church, and after church, some friends of ours invited us. A big group of people was getting together to go to lunch, and it's one of our favorite places, and so we accepted. So that's all well and good, except for we also had our church pool party this evening, and it's a potluck style. Like, you know, they have hot dogs and then everyone brings a side or a dessert or whatever. So, lunch out, unexpected, pool party this evening, plus somewhere along the way I have to fit in a couple slices of pizza and a serving of M&Ms. So, when you are counting macros, if you're doing flexible dieting, this can come up, and so you have to figure out what your approach is going to be. If you're just going to throw caution to the wind and say, well, I'll just start again tomorrow on Monday, or if you're going to make it work. And so I'm just competitive enough. It's so funny because I was never competitive growing up, like ever at all. I didn't play sports. I was not athletic. It was not my thing. And so my competitive nature has just come out, you know, within the last few years. And so, but it's mainly with myself, which I guess is a good thing. But so I wanted to see if I could make it work. And so we went to this burger place, and I've only ever gotten, like, when we go there, I'm just going all out. Burger, fries, the whole nine. So I looked over the menu very carefully, and I could have gotten, you know, a grilled chicken sandwich or gone ahead and gotten the burger. But what I decided to do, they had some carne asada tacos that actually sounded really good. And so I pulled those up in the MyFitnessPal app and plugged them in, and I plugged in the pizza and M&Ms that I was going to have later today, and just played around with making everything fit to see what was going to be the best choice for me to have for lunch. And the tacos fit perfectly, so I ordered those. That's what I ended up having for lunch. And we came home, and we ended up, my husband got home from his comedy gig. He was out of town for a comedy show last night, and got home, I think it was like 1 o'clock in the morning or something, and I was still awake. And so we ended up staying up until 3 o'clock in the morning. So we were all exhausted, like my children, it was their nap time, quiet time anyway. And so we ended up all taking a 3-hour nap this afternoon, and it was wonderful. Woke up just in time to make my pizza to have before we went to the pool party, and I'd already figured out my macros for the rest of the day. So I had a couple of rice cakes and like a double protein shake to take with me to the pool party, so that I could stay on track there. I wasn't really interested in the hot dogs or any of the other stuff that they have there. And that's one of the wonderful things about flexible dieting, is when you know that you can have any of it, a lot of times you don't want it. And so when I know I'm already having my pizza and M&Ms, I was okay with skipping the, you know, the Doritos and hot dogs and all that crap, because it just didn't even appeal to me. So so I took my protein shake and rice cakes there, and got back home, and then, but I realized, like, I still have a couple hundred calories left that I need to have. And so because we took such a long nap, then I'm still a little bit behind on macros. But so far I'm staying on track with everything, and everything's going really smoothly. My weight is actually creeping up, which a lot of people freak out, you know, because I'm weighing every day just to keep you guys posted. And I like to keep track of that too, but to me, I know that especially for me, it fluctuates a lot. And so I was up another pound this morning than I was yesterday, but I had a really big meal at like 2:30 in the morning last night, and so it's totally, like, it's to be expected. So it's really interesting, and I'm going to keep you guys posted on the blog to let you know how my weight is fluctuating through all this, and I'm posting the daily photos too, so you'll be able to see all of those changes and see how hopefully you'll realize the scale really doesn't matter, because I know sometimes we step on the scale in the morning and you're expecting, you're feeling pretty good and you're expecting to see a really good number, and it's up a couple pounds and it's crushing, and it affects your food choices the rest of the day, because you're like, if I'm gonna work so hard and eat right and then the scale's just gonna go up anyway, then what's the point? Well, you might be packing on some extra muscle and not realizing it, and muscle, as you've likely heard, is much more compact, and so it's really, when you grow up thinking that the scale is everything's how to lose weight, and everything is so based on what that scale says, and it's really hard to lose that mindset. So anyway, all of that to say, food went really well today. I even worked in, my husband and I have drinks a couple nights a week, and so I work that into my macros too. I usually go for vodka just because it's a clear alcohol, and that's the best choice when you're gonna have something, because it doesn't have all the sugars and stuff in it that that wine has and things like that, some of the other the drink choices for people. So I just mix mine with my BCAAs or my aminos, and it's awesome. I call it an aminotini, and that's my drink of choice. So I even worked that into my macros today, and so pretty excited about that too. Yay. Okay, so one of the questions I've gotten about my food is how detailed I am, and I track everything in MyFitnessPal, and I usually weigh everything, because if you look on the nutrition facts on your food, it usually has like so many ounces or a serving, but in the parentheses it says so many grams, and I usually go by grams because they're smaller and you can get more precise with it. And if you have a really good food scale, a digital food scale, it's so much easier than measuring, because if for chocolate chips, for example, just because I've dealt with that before, say a tablespoon is a serving of chocolate chips. Well, is it like a heaping tablespoon, or is it, they're weird shapes, they don't fit in a tablespoon, and what if you have one that's more rounded and one that's deeper? There's so many different factors, whereas if you go by the grams, then it doesn't matter. You just measure out the grams, and you don't have to worry about if you're going over or under, because that adds up throughout the day. You eat 10 different things in a day, and if you're a little bit over on all of those things, then you could be stalling out your progress. So I prefer to weigh everything over using measuring cups or spoons or anything like that. And that's worked really well for me. It's easier. You don't have to deal with the measuring spoons. You just zero out your scale, dump it into the bowl, and you're good to go. So another thing I wanted to address is when I see a lot of posts. I have a really large fitness group, private fitness group called Relentless on Facebook, and there's over 1,000 women in there, and it's a free group, so you're welcome to join if you're a woman. If you're not, sorry. But a lot of them will talk about measuring out their food, and I see this in some other fitness groups I'm into, and then their child comes and wants to offer them a bite of whatever they're eating, or wants a bite of what they've already measured out. They're like, no, I already measured this out. And I've been that way, where I'm like, no, you can't have this. This is mommy's, and there are circumstances where I do tell my children, no, you can't have this, it's mine. But I would just encourage you on that to keep it in perspective. If my little 2-year-old boy brings me a bite of his goldfish, I haven't measured out and weighed the goldfish, but it's okay. Like, I eat the goldfish. It's okay. So just keep some perspective in all this. It's not, macros are important, and measuring and weighing things are important, but there are a lot of things that matter more. So just try to keep your eye on the big picture, and don't let your relationship with your family suffer just so you can count your macros. That's the main thing. That mainly covers what I wanted to talk to all of you about today. I got some really great questions on my Facebook page today, and we're already at 10 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and stop this one, but I will likely probably get a few more questions tomorrow, and so tomorrow's vlog may just be people asking questions and me addressing those, so because I want to make sure that I get those answered as they're asked, because they're great questions and keep them coming. If you have a question for me about what I'm doing or what my approach is or what my opinion is about something, please send it to me. You can reach me through Instagram. My Instagram handle is @FitLikeFlint. It's the same on Snapchat, and those are probably the best ways to get a hold of me. You can also send it to my email address, which is rachel@fitlikeflint.com, and that's RACHEL @fitlikeflint.com. Or you can post on my public Facebook page, which is also Fit Like Flint. So any of those ways, there's plenty of ways to get in touch with me and ask your questions. I love hearing from you. This has been a really fun way to connect with all of you. I have been so busy with some projects that I've been working on that I was kind of starting to feel like I was losing connection with some of my audience, but this has been a really fun way to reconnect. If you want to follow this vlog, if you are finding this just on YouTube, there's a lot more information in the blog on my website, and that is at fitlikeflint.com, and you just go to the heading that says 42 Days of Pizza, or I just registered the domain name 42daysofpizza.com, so you can just go to that. It'll take you to the same place, whatever is easiest for you to remember. So thank you so much for your time and attention. I really enjoy talking to you, and we'll do it again tomorrow. Take it easy. Bye-bye.